Hello, hello, good afternoon. 2 Saturdays ago, I promised my followers on Janet Silvera, the page, that we would talk at least every Saturday if I can. Sometimes I travel on a Saturday. Last Saturday, I traveled to Turks, so I was on a plane. This week, I'm right here in Jamaica. My voice is gone, but my energy remains. And today we're talking about breast cancer, a disease that has besetted many women in Jamaica. We've lost many friends to breast cancer. In fact, today I was reading where the Food and Drug Administration in the United States, they have decided to ban any relaxer that has methylene, formaldehyde, or glycol. Any of those products that you can find in a relaxer have been banned by, or going to be banned rather, by the US government. Now, what we realize is that those products are used mainly by Black women, Black or Latinos. They said about 50% of the advertising dollars are spent attracting the attention of Black women or Latino women, while only 7% of the advertising dollar is aimed towards white women. So we're using all these relaxers, we're using all these deodorants, we're using all these things. And as a result, we are ending up with either uterine cancer or breast cancer. But all is not lost. I have a breast cancer survivor with me this afternoon. Kuya Onuora, I hope I pronounce your name correctly, Nation. And I have Dollis Campbell from Guardian Insurance. And just about ready to join us is Claudette Ricards, who is also from Guardian. Claudette, can you hear us? Welcome, Claudette. Now, Kuya obviously going to talk about breast cancer and how she has survived.
Hi, Janet. Dollis.
Good afternoon.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
She said yes.
Okay, right. The two experts are here with us, and they're going to be talking about critical illness and how one can help themselves after one becomes critically ill. I bought my critical illness insurance probably about 10 years ago, Dollis? I have two critical illness, by the way. One with you and one with somebody else. Because I don't know when I will need this type of insurance.
Yeah.
But it's not all about insurance, guys. I would like all my followers to understand that there's help out there.
Yes.
So, Kuya, talk to me about your breast cancer. I'm hearing a feedback somewhere there. I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm getting a feedback. But I want you to tell the people who are watching this afternoon, when you realized first that you had breast cancer, what age were you when you realized, and what impact did it have on your life?
Thanks for having me, Janet. I appreciate the invite and happy to help and to provide some background and insight. So to begin with, I found out I was diagnosed when I was 42 years of age. I'm now 48. I did have critical insurance at the very base level, though, when you just buy a coupon because somebody tell you, not because you did it from an informed position. So I had critical health. the backstory is that my mother actually was diagnosed with cancer and died from it. And so, truth be told, we should have probably learned a lesson or two and been some more prepared. Um, I was not doing mammograms because I guess some of it was some level of fear, some level of wait and see. I did it, I wasn't doing it consistently. So I did it like when I was 38. Oh, you're good, everything is fine. And then I miss a year or two, and I kept getting this feeling under my arm and this discomfort. And I called a family friend, family doctor, and the person said, "No, based on your history, go and check it out. Check it out, biopsy done." And the diagnosis came in August of 2017.
How old were you?
42.
Okay.
I've just turned 42. My birthday is in July. So that said, it was a very, very rough patch. I would not have yet laid my mom to rest, not even maybe 5 or 6 years from that. And it was a tall order. Have young children going to school, family life, and we didn't find that first diagnosis early either. And so that was a part of the impact. Blessedly for me, I had the support of the corporate people I worked with, my family, my church, and everybody put all hands on deck. I had to use both the public and the private system in Jamaica to be able to survive because I did not have enough insurance coverage. And just the investigations for the medical teams to work cost a lot of money. At that time, KPH was a part of the process, and their machines simply to do CTs, to do the different ultrasounds were not working. To do the blood work, they had systems there, but it was very frustrating. And so we actually went to a place on Oxford to see an oncologist. And when she gave the assessment for the chemo, the lump had grown so large in my breast that they could not operate first. Between the January when we started the investigations of what happened on the arm, under the arm to the breast, it had gotten so swollen that this assessment was they needed to do the chemotherapy before they were able to remove the breast.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, because we did have the insurance, we wanted to see if what we had could cover the chemotherapy in the first instance before we moved to the surgery. The money was not sufficient.
How
It
much
was
money are we
about
talking about here?
$1 million. And
1
this was in
million.
2017. It couldn't, the assessment at the time for the first batch of chemo was almost $2 million. That did not include any of the paraphernalia, such as needles, such as the catheter that they put in for you to get the chemo. None of those, the same CTs, the blood work, it didn't include covering any of those costs. And so my relative indicated, let's ask the public system, go to one of the clinics. You need help. You need to get on board. And that's what we did. So we went through the system at KPH. I also worked with the people at Andrews and New Kingston Medical Diagnostic, and they helped me through the entire journey to be able to be speaking now.
Wow. 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 You're how old now? You're what? You're 40 what now?
48, just turned 48 in July.
48. And you have lost both breasts?
So the significant thing about the journey is that following up having gone through the first process and doing all the checks and balances, January 2022, there was some suspicious looking notes. And so I had to go through the entire process
All over again.
over.
So you had to spend another $3-4 million?
I had to spend another 2 million because I only used the public system in this case, which helped. It has been improved. So this time around, I only did one session of chemo. So the diagnosis was also positive this time around. We got it much earlier. And we removed us the second breast June last year. And this time I only did a small amount of chemo, maybe one or two sessions, I believe, of chemo. And I'm on a 1-year treatment, which the NHF program helps to cover that cost. One of those injections, if I don't have it in front of me, but in November last year, it was $89,000 for that one treatment. That's just one.
Wow.
And I had to get that for a year.
One injection for a year?
Yes, ma'am.
How much time a year?
Every 30 days.
So once a month?
Once a
at
month.
$89,000.
Yeah. That's just one. That don't include
That's
the
a
blood.
$1,168,000. Oh my God. How do we manage in this country? Let me talk to the insurance people now. Yes. Tell us, how do we manage under these conditions? Dollis Campbell, I see you every day promoting critical illness. And I know that your boss, Claudette Rickards, who is in charge of that branch, I know that she has had clients who have gone through cancer and she has had to ensure that they got their coverage. Talk to me. Which one are you going to start first? Dollis, I'm not hearing you.
Dollis, you're muted.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you for having me. I Kuya, I Claudette. You know, I'm a very emotional person and I know Kuya's journey. And I just, right now, I am teary-eyed. But Kuya, I just want to send you some love. I want to congratulate you. You're such a fighter. You're such a survivor. I admire you so much with on this journey that, you know, you could speak to so many, especially young persons, about this journey. God bless you. And I continue to pray for you. I admire you and I love you. You know, you're such a strong person. But as Kuya expressed, Janet, it takes cash to care, right? We don't know when, we don't know how, you know, critical illnesses will come. But at least if we have insurance to assist, to help us, it will make the journey a little better. Now, for Kuya, she could not work for months, but she still has to pay her mortgage. She has to pay her light bill. She has to pay water. She has to buy food. And the food that you have to eat, that is something else Kuya didn't even touch on because it is very expensive. Because you can't eat anything. You have to eat good food. Natural food, right, Kuya?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, natural juices, that alone is another expense. So if you have some insurance and you can pull on this insurance when you are critically ill, you know, it's so you have a $10 million coverage and you're able to pull down on this, it can help your journey. It can make your journey much easier. You can sleep a little better because you know that private public partnership, you're better able to navigate through it because you have some cash and it takes cash to care. And immediately on the first diagnosis of any of these illnesses, Guardian will pay the sum. You know, we ask for the reports from the doctor, etc. And Claudette will go more into that, but it helps a lot. And we offer this insurance from age 18 to age 60 for persons age 18 to 60, both men and women. And Janet, let me just tell you a list of some of the critical illnesses that we cover: cancer, coma, heart attack, stroke, major burns, kidney failure, paralysis, major organ failures, loss of speech, deafness, loss of hearing, just to name a few, you know. And this insurance is a win win. If you get ill, you get the funds to assist in taking care, getting the medical treatment that you need. If you don't, at age 75, all the premiums that you pay for your critical illness insurance is refunded to you.
At age what?
75.
Okay. All right.
Right? So it is needed, and it is something that I encourage everyone to get some critical illness insurance. It's a win-win
May
for
I
you.
agree with you because within a country where pensioners are getting minuscule or anything,
Yeah.
where are you going to find money when you really need it outside of critical illness insurance?
And you know, Janet, sometimes
Um,
persons say that it is expensive. It is not expensive. If you sit with an advisor and they work this out for you, and you know, and we ask you some questions and based on your budget, etc., you'd be surprised what you pay for your critical illness on a monthly basis is one less fast food, or one less
I was
shoes,
about to
or
tell you
one less
that
shirt,
sometimes
or
you can
just
save
1
on
week
so
not
many
going to the
areas.
hairdresser. And we have to make sacrifices, you know?
And I'll tell you
Yes.
something, Auntie Dollis, you mentioned about the food. A lot of people forget there are basic things that don't have to do with the actual paying for medical attention, transportation back and forth to each of these sets of specialists that you need to get the support is a big ticket thing. That along with running your home in its as close to best as form as you had it before, and as you spoke about the nutrition, um just doing those things because stress is a big part of navigating as well, just to absorb the treatment and make sure they actually work, then everything is about take cash to care. And I agree with you about the fact that the critical illness plans are not that expensive. What is one of the significant experiences I had was the year before I got my diagnosis. I had actually gone to do a mammogram and it came back clean. Having had this $1 million coupon policy, which was a critical health, I went back to my advisor and I said, all right, since everybody buying new insurance, let me buy another one. As Janet said, she had to at the start. 5 months and 2 weeks into buying that policy, diagnosis came for me. So unfortunately, I didn't get the payout. The company, though, was, I believe, very understanding. They didn't just give me my premiums, they gave me a portion because I had a medical record to show that I, in fact, had gone and gotten a clean report. And the truth is, the disease was growing there. So that
Oh,
that place that did the mammogram was not so efficient.
wow. Let me bring in. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let me bring in Claudette. Claudette, I know you must have a lot to tell us.
Hi, Janet, Dollis, Kuya. I have listened to your journey. I've listened to your journey. And that is the reality. What I've often said to my clients and to my prospects is that the difference between living and dying with a critical illness is having money to pay for all that will be required for you to live. Huh? And some people, when you approach them, boy, the minute me hear say me have a critical illness, me just give up because I can't afford it. And so we are here to share with people that no, you that opinion you can erase by planning. This is called planning. planning for eventualities, right? And in planning, you plan before you have a diagnosis. Eh? You think
Yes.
about it. If the rain is going to fall, you are not going to prepare your roof just when the rain sets in, if we are having a storm or anything like that. So you would have made sure that your house is prepared and in order that in the event of a hurricane or a storm, that you are covered.
Yeah.
I've often said to people that you insure a motor vehicle, you insure your home, but your best asset is you.
Your
You are
body.
that
You.
to provide that money to take care of the car, take care of the home, and all the other circumstances that life will throw at you. And so, as advisors, we are here to say, our help is there. Help is there. And when you plan for these things, encourage people to put away small amounts of money on a monthly basis. Because as Kuya stated, that one dose,
I'm not hearing you properly, Claudette. There is some feedback.
uh,
But go ahead, go ahead.
so,
I
um,
don't know if there's some noise in the background where you are.
let me try something. Maybe it's the fan.
You have a television on or something?
Are you hearing it now?
Yeah.
Are you still hearing it?
Yeah, we're hearing. Yeah.
No, I'm not hearing it. It's not
Kuya,
here.
put your foot, yours on mute. Let me see what's happening. Mute yourself. Go ahead, Claudette.
Okay. And so, Claire raised a point where she took out a policy and it was 5 months and like 2 weeks. Huh? The thing with buying these policies, critical illness policies, we have what is called a waiting period. And the waiting period is 160 days. That works out to be 6 months. And so you fell short of the waiting period by 2 weeks. And maybe that is why the consideration came in terms of just giving you a refund of your premium, you
Yes.
some additional because you were almost at the end of your elimination period. And this is because you don't want persons to know that and feel a bump in the breast and run and buy an insurance. We try to rule out what is called pre-existing condition. And I'm happy that you're on your journey, but it will take more money, Clear. And if you don't have a good saving account or some investments put aside, and because you are young and you want to maximize your lifetime, not you, you want to live as long as possible. And we would also encourage you, whatever other methods of investments that you can put aside to help you to grow, huh? To take care of circumstances. I We have policies with Dollis will share on it. Give you
Yeah,
the
let Dollis come on and you put your thing on mute because I'm getting a feedback again. Go again, Dollis.
So we have policies for 15 million maximum. Those are the coupon policies. We
Oh,
have
you
on
mean that you can purchase and that's the coverage you're getting.
that will
$15
provide
million. dollars.
15 million. We also have policies that can provide up to a maximum of 50 million. So it depends on
Wow.
your, yes. We have the ultimate provider that can cover you up to 50 million. And we have the Care Plus that will cover you up to 15 million. So it depends on as I say, your pocket, your affordability. We can design something for
So
your
what is
pocket.
the lowest? What's the lowest policy you have?
The Care Plus, which we have a minimum entry based on your age of 3 million.
3 million.
Right. And
Okay.
we have for the older person, minimum entry age 1.5 million.
Let us
Because
explain to people who might be watching. we're not saying that you're paying the insurance company 1 million, no, or 3 million. This is your coverage. In other words, you are purchasing insurance and your coverage is between $3 to $50 million,
Right.
dependent on the product that you purchased.
Right.
Isn't that the case?
Correct,
Dollis,
Janet.
can you tell me about people who might have relatives living in Jamaica but live overseas and they want to help their families in Jamaica to purchase insurance? Claudette,
Oh,
can you mute?
yes, yes, Janet, that can be done. For example, someone living overseas and their sister is here and they want to assist them with paying that insurance. The person living overseas will become the payer. And they can even stay right there in the US and pay online for the insurance policy every month. They just need to let us know. We can go to the relative, interview the relative, do the policy. The relative signed the policy contract, everything, but we put the relative overseas as the payer. So if it is a policy for 10,000 per month, that person can stay in the US and pay online every month. They can also be the beneficiary, that when that person, anything should happen, they can get the funds to assist with taking care of the person.
But let me ask
Or
you,
if they should die.
$10,000 is how much US dollars a month?
10,000, that's what, approximately 70 US?
Oh, 70 US dollars.
I think I can work it out for you. I'm not
No, man, that's
absolutely
fine. I think that's what it is. I was about to work it out.
right.
I
And,
think that's
and
what it is.
that's not our starting point, Janet. I was just giving an
I
example.
understand. I know you
Right.
were just giving an
Right.
example.
And what Claudette said earlier about persons over age 40, we can you can get insurance for about 1.5, the coverage. So if you should get critically ill, that is what would be paid out, 1.5 million. Or in some cases 3 million. Or if you can afford, we can go up to 50 million. And that is what would be paid out. The cost for that depends on your age. So when we sit with you, we will work it out and let you know what the coverage would cost. So say, for example, you want to pay, you can afford 20,000 per month. Based on your age, we would work that out for you and show you what you can get. Maybe you can get a $10 million coverage for that amount. So you just need to contact us and let us have a conversation and we'll work it out. And we have a package for everyone, so you can fit in somewhere on that scale.
Let
Can
me talk
you
back
get
to
it?
Kuya. Let me talk back to Kuya. Kuya, Lovelett is not here, Lovelett Fogo, but she's also a breast cancer survivor.
Right.
You know how difficult it was for her?
All right. So Lovelet is my friend, and we want to say partners in the journey. A year or two after my first diagnosis, she was diagnosed as well. And um, Lovelet had one of the more updated packages in terms of insurance.
Mm-hmm.
However, she did all her activities privately and ended up in a situation where all the funds were used up and she still ended up having to seek some level of assistance through the public system to be able
Nothing is
to
wrong with
get the
that. If
treatment.
you can combine both.
Right. But I use it because at the time when she would have bought her policy, she's 2 years older than myself. And at the time when she would have purchased her policy, um, it was considered to be current and up to date. But the change in cost in inflation and the moving targets to get some of the specialist treatment, several of the pieces of blood work that I had to do, the tests were not offered in Jamaica. We had to send to Miami to get them. Those you have to pay courier, shipping, you need to get that information in a timely manner. And just to do those processes, get in the US And so, even in what she thought was a prepared space, she also had group life health insurance from her workplace and from her husband. And with all of that, still after maybe a year and a half into the journey, having to seek assistance through the public system.
Yeah.
I bring that up because this has nothing yet to do with how your home base is run. Food, car, food, clothes, shelter. We don't touch any of those things. At this point, we are just paying for seeing an oncologist, talking to the surgical team, going back and forth. I mean, it is a tall order. And I found that it was support more so, just somebody to call and say, let me upload your prescription through drug prescript at NHF and get the medication for you. Somebody to drop the prescription down by KPH or drug serve. Somebody to say there was a point in time, the first set of chemo I got, there the medication was not in the country, and New Kingston Medical Diagnostics called every lab and pharmacy, and we found it in Mobay. We had to courier the drug here for the hospital to give me.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that the fact that she had good insurance in the beginning when she just found out may have saved her life?
In both of us case, yes, because the panic, the receiving of the news, the what do I do first? Because even though you may be aware, in my case, I was around the situation, I had experience of dealing with it. But when the news sits at your doorstep to say, what do you do? If you have no plan, nowhere to start to draw the first $100,000 from. I'll give you a simple example, Janet. Before your providers pay out, you need to do what is called a biopsy because they have to get that medical thing. That money has to come out of pocket. It doesn't come from the insurance. You don't get it from you. So for you to, so you might feel it and you go on your general practitioner say, I don't like how this sound. Go and do your ultrasound. Go and get a biopsy. So the person have to refer you to get a biopsy. That biopsy exam for me was almost $300,000.
But if you have health insurance, that would pay for it.
If you hadn't health
Yes,
insurance,
and
that would
so
have
that's
been
why
for it.
we're talking,
Right.
because that's why we're having this conversation, Kuya. I have health insurance. So that would have paid if I had to go and do a test like that. But
But
I
a
also have critical illness
but
insurance.
but a lot of people have neither. So even if you were to, so let us use the critical insurance based on what we're discussing now. Let us say I came to you, Janet, and borrow. I said, going to do this test is an urgent thing. I hear going to borrow the 200 or the 300,000. At least you would have had the critical insurance when the results come back to even pay the person or to help you. If you have nothing to, if
You
you don't
and
have
I
any
are
help,
on the same page.
yes. So if you don't have anything, you can't get any help.
So I'm going to bring in Claudette because I know she was trying to come back to say something after Dollis. Claudette, what was it you were trying to say? And I'm sure that I recall hearing from one of my friends some time ago that they had a client who said that, "Chow, me have the insurance and nothing happened to me all know. So me now about to renew it." And something happened like maybe what, 2 months after. We never have any client that ever happened to.
So, Janet, what Dolly actually raised the point I wanted to raise, that in terms of the pricing on the insurance policy is dependent on your age. And so we encourage persons who are much young, and she stated earlier that you can enter from age 18 and buy as much coverage as possible, sorry, because you enter. Age is a factor, and the older one gets, the more expensive it is to purchase any kind of insurance at all. So we are talking to the young now. And we also, when we talk about critical illness, Jan, it's not just cancer. We talk about multiple sclerosis. We talk about blindness, kidney failure, prostate cancer. And it's a reminder to our men that they can also have breast cancer because we have had incidents of breast cancer here in Jamaica, and some very popular persons have
Mhm.
died to that men can also have breast cancer. And so we emphasize children also can have cancer, some form of a cancer. And with our achiever, so although we have we are working at a critical illness standalone policy for children, but we do have critical illness policy for children with the education policy that we sell, the Guardian Achiever. We have critical illness on it because you see, it is no respecter of persons and it is no respecter of age. So we do have for children as well as adults. And so we stated the different and the benefits and be better able to handle the cost physically and emotionally is to have monies put aside. And with insurance, I've often said to my clients, you buy money and put aside. So don't see it as buying insurance. Buying money, you with insurance, you purchase a lump sum of money for a small amount that you pay for on a monthly basis.
I'm in
Don't,
total agreement with you.
don't,
Before we wrap up,
yeah.
before we wrap up, I just want to ask Dollis to tell us how persons can reach her to find out more about this.
Thank you, Janet. And I must say quickly that we have one of our critical illness plan, the new ultimate provider.
What
This
else?
it's a plan, right, that takes care of all the critical illnesses I mentioned to you before. Over 23 illnesses,
And
covers
Jesus.
23 illnesses: blindness, coma, cancer, heart attack, stroke, paralysis, what loss of speech. But Janet, the good thing about this plan, a lot of research has gone into it. Kuya spoke about having ready cash. So you're paying for your critical illness insurance. We have an investment component to this policy. You can start with as low as $1,500 into the investment portion. And when that emergency comes, you can quickly, before you get the results from the doctor, take off the 300,000 or the 500,000 or the 5 million and have ready cash. So you save a little every month towards that. Have that ready cash to pay some of the expenses, to pay for some of those tests. Janet,
And
my numbers are
that
eight,
covers you for 50 million.
right,
50 million.
up to 50 million. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah,
So
it
we
is. It is. In
really,
fact, me, I
yeah.
wonder if me have the ultimate. Me
You
not think
don't
so.
have it, Janet, and we need to have a talk immediately about the new ultimate
No,
provider.
because me, I tell you, listen, with
Person,
all these lifestyle diseases, I'm sorry.
yes.
Before you continue to tell us, you tell it that what number they can reach you at. Before you got there, with Jamaica as a place where many of our people are suffering as a result of lifestyle diseases, let me tell you something. I really wanted us to be talking about this because we just not have the money when the time come and when we need. My mother died from colon cancer, and in the first time she went into hospital, $3 million. Huh?
Mm.
I mean, it was so rough, and she never have no insurance, and she never have no pension because she was a housewife.
Yeah.
Me I talk to people out there because me want people to understand. Say, I know sell me. I try sell insurance. Me no sell insurance. I am trying to get people to understand that it is important to secure your future in relation to any illness that may beset you. And if you have relatives who are living in Jamaica who can't afford it and you live overseas and you can send them a $90. Now send it to them, by the way. Buy the
Right.
insurance for them from the insurance agent and get that insurance agent to collect that money because you send it to your relatives and they're probably not even using. And at the end of the day, when them become ill,
Call
you
you.
same one have to turn around and help them with that the illness. But if them have insurance, then the insurance money can pay for their treatment. Go ahead, Dollis. I'm very sorry.
That's okay, Janet. Very good information that you're giving, and we really want to thank you for doing such a program today. It is well needed because we just have to keep talking. Education about these things is very important.
True.
Persons can get me at 876-369-5554 or call our Guardian Life numbers and ask for Dollis Campbell specifically. I would love to talk to everyone. I am at the head office in Kingston, and it's 876 For persons who want to email, it's dollis.campbell@myguardiangroup.com. Thank
And
you.
Kuya, is there a group that helps women with breast cancer outside of the Cancer Society?
The the Webster Church, remember Webster Memorial Church has a group that does um that has a support system. Several of the Seventh-day Adventist church groups and the Miracle Open Bible churches, those civic bodies have groups. If you participate in any of the public clinics, both at UE, although UE is not 100% public, and at KPH, for example, they will put you through to support systems that will give you advice and help you to navigate. The journey, though, what I will say to anyone, you can start at the Cancer Society. Make sure you get support, your family, friends, all hands on deck if you are going to battle and survive because you need every support you can get. Now it's not the time to be shame and shy and worried about what people is going to think. You need all the support. And if from now you can, not if, you can make the sacrifice. Really and truly, it's just one less pair of shoe, one less hairstyle. Most of these plans, based on my experience, to share with you before you go. The first coupon plan that I had, I bought it a long time ago. It was $802 I was paying. $802 in 2017. And when I did the upgraded one, it was like 3,000 something. And I'm saying that to say, in the grand scheme of things, if I'd paid better attention, I would have been able to be more prepared. So to me, if you can get the information from the advisors and make the plan, you will be helped.
Thank you. Anything else from you, Claudette? Gonna wrap up right now.
Thank you for hosting the show, Dollis. Janet, it was quite informative, and we're happy to share with persons out there. You know, planning is important, and I just want to leave this with everybody. It was not raining when Noah built that ark. So provide for yourself, your family, your loved ones. My husband died as a result of a critical illness. And so we may have family members who have had critical illness or went on that journey. You too prepare, plan for yourself, your children, your spouses and loved ones, and plan with Guardian Life. With Guardian Life, you live in peace.
Thank you. You don't know, so me go start charge Guardian Life.
Janet, it's very important what Claudette said just now because, as you know, my dad had a heart attack at 82 years old.
Yes.
And I had to do just like Kuya. My dad had no insurance because he had passed the age and I did not insure him properly before. And let me tell you, I am still paying because I had to make arrangement with the hospital to pay on a monthly basis.
Wow.
If I had $15 million insurance for my dad, I would not have to go through that. So I have the experience and I can speak to persons and help to prepare them now for themselves and their family members. It is so important. Have the conversation. We
If I
need
even
to
a
talk.
conversation. And
Let's
you know
talk.
the thing about it, the consultation is free.
Free,
And I like say I pay
free,
for. I see
free.
Tina Miller saying, thanks for this informative session. Tina, it has been a pleasure. The good thing about Facebook Live is it stays for a while. So I'm sure that many other people will watch. We are on 3 platforms. We're on Janet Silvera, the page. Oh, Sitina says she going to reach out to you, Dollis.
Excellent.
Janet Silvera, the page, Janet Silvera, and on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So we hope, Dollis, that many people will see, even if they're not buying no insurance from you today or tomorrow, I'm sure that they will think about it carefully
Yes.
and
Start the
understand the importance of
conversation.
it.
Start the conversation.
Start the conversation.
Let's talk.
Sarah Mackenzie is also saying thanks for this information. Dollis, your mom is my friend. That's what Tina says. Your mother is
Oh,
her friend. Yeah. Her mom is
oh.
my friend too, Tina.
Is your mom?
Ah,
Before you go, this bit of
yes.
information is that although Dolly may have said it earlier, is that
Yes.
our entry age for the normal policies are 18 to age 60.
18 too?
Age 60.
60.
So run and do it. If you're 59 now, you have 1 year. Okay? So after 60,
You
you
know, I'm
can.
not time. So hold on then. Let me ask you a question, by the way. After you get to age 60 or you get to retirement, do you still have to be paying that insurance?
Yes, yes, Janet, you stop paying for it at age 75 when we refund you all your monies if you have not had a diagnosis.
But let me ask you a question though. If you get to 65 and you have retired and you don't have no more money to pay, what happens?
That's a very good question. But we encourage persons to pinch it from the little savings. We encourage persons when we are selling insurance policies, we cater for other needs, not just the critical illness. And so we throw in an investment plan that you can take money from and pay your premiums. Also, the fact
Okay.
that
So
working person,
that investment aspect of it should be
yes,
able to help you with
premium.
paying the policy.
That's right.
Yes, you have
And
answered me very well because I'm thinking about myself. Yeah.
And Janet, you're not retired till you're 100.
Watch out, Sarah. Hold off before they leave. Sarah says that they lapse the policy.
no,
No.
We have
no.
to respond to Sarah.
What I don't understand.
She says they lapse the policy. Once you get to that age, I'm thinking when you can't
No,
pay anymore, the policy they
no, no,
lapse.
no, no, no. That's not how it works. You get to that
Sarah,
age and
they
you
say
would be
no.
refunded.
Now,
At age
listen,
75, they all the premiums that you have paid.
She's not talking about that. She's talking
Dolly,
about when you get to
very
65 and
important,
can't pay anymore.
very important, Janet. Janet, it it is called relationship. Eh? Relationship with
Relationship.
insurance advisors. Because we advise you, a lot of persons will say, boy, I'm 65 and I'm retired. What can I do? I'm sure that there is an income if you are. Because what we encourage persons to do, is either man at work or working for you at a particular age. And so lapsing it is not an option. We talk to you, and I'm sure we have advised our clients how and where money can come from to keep it going.
I feel if I can share I had more than one insurance policy, and during the months and months of not working, exactly what Claudette just said, relationship with your advisor and your company is important. My life insurance policy that was there was no money, no money, no added money, no available money was there for me to be able to pay from income. And what they did, that investment portion that was available, they used all of it. So first of all, they put the investment on hold and just use the insurance part to keep the policy going. Everything that I had paid, this happened in over a 2 year period. I had no money to pay for the policy. And my policy kept going until I was able to go through all of those sessions of chemo radiation, almost 3 years of just negotiating with my
So the
insurance.
investment aspect of it paid for it, you're saying?
Yes, the invest. So what they did, they put the investment part on hold, and then all the investment cash flow that was available, they applied it to it over the 3 years.
So what
And
happened was
today, I now still have
that
that life
the
insurance
policy
policy.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate the time you took on a Saturday afternoon to speak with my followers, my friends, my acquaintances, people who just have come through. Thanks. And we next week we come back with another topic. We don't know what it's gonna be. Depends on the mood I'm in. But what I do know is that I'm gonna try my very best to entertain, inform, and educate. That's what
Well,
they say media does. Yeah. So that's what I'm planning to do. Have a good evening or good afternoon, ladies.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.